we have the next story, which I had completely forgotten was my story. We have none other than Kamene Goro speaking about her relationship with none other than Oga Obinna, and of course her man in the mix. So apparently the three of them, well, the two of them were recording a video on YouTube, and Oga Obinna touched the face, like in a touched her face. Right, the man was, of course, in the building. The husband, DJ Bones, was in the building, and obviously, Kamene Goro's immediate reaction is like, "Dude, I don't even think I need to be in the position of explaining to you why what you did was wrong and weird, right? Like I don't understand how I have to explain that there's a boundary that you cannot cross, regardless of how close we are. They've been co-hosts in the past. They are really good friends. They do that podcast stroke video YouTube thing together. Like, they're constantly in each other's spaces, and obviously they are really close friends. However, she's fully married to DJ Bones. So of course him like touching her face, not just in front of the many people who are going to see this video ultimately later, but in front of her husband in her house, in their house, that's got to be a stand for, I don't know, someone's about to get hurt in here, because what was that? Anyway, Kamene Goro went so far as to now explain that, look, Oga Obinna needs to understand that there are boundaries within their relationship, especially now that she's married. He shouldn't go testing these boundaries or trying to cross these boundaries, regardless of how close they are. And DJ Bones also, admitted the same, and he said, look, you shouldn't really be trying and surpass your abilities and your standing as a person. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Imagine you're just chilling in your house with your man, and this other guy is just grabbing on your face. As in, what is happening?
So necessary.
It doesn't make sense. Like, we should be 10 feet apart. Inafaa kuwa kama COVID lockdown. At least 3. Ilikuwa 3 feet ama ilikuwa 1? How many inches?
Ilikuwa 6 feet.
Ilikuwa 6 feet. You should be at least 6 feet away from me, because that is way too close for comfort. But also, I don't know, the way that she responded to this, and I think in my mind, I'm just like, okay. She said that while acknowledging that it was a good intention, like he wasn't coming from a bad place, she did mention that he needed to understand the potential implications of such an action in the context of her marriage, and she expressed the desire to guide him through this transition while setting clear boundaries for the friendship moving forward. And I don't know why, for me, it felt like an intimidating, like, okay, yeah, I get that he wasn't doing something bad, but like at the same time, he really does need to understand. It felt very watcha for me. Like, if that is happening in my household, if someone is about to get jumped, I don't even know where to begin. Like, that's gonna be a whole thing. That's going to be a whole thing.
I remember when they started this podcast thing, and initially you could tell immediately that there was tension in the room, and we even talked about it here, and we were like, it's so awkward, and it was so cringe, because there's just this chemistry that Obinna and Kamene have. You can't even explain it. It's when you've been friends with somebody, as in they get each other. And then there was Kamene's husband. It's like when you bring your child to work and you have to keep giving them attention from time to time so that they don't act up. That's how it felt like. And we're like, why don't they just do this podcast without Kamene's husband? As in, what is his contribution? It just felt like it was ad-libs. He was the takeoff of the Migos. It was just very awkward. And now it now feels like Kamene is now defending her man. As in, she has to. She said it because she had to. Let me just tell you, there's a certain level of audacity that can only, it was encouraged at some point. Yep. Because people are not mad. And I used to think, maybe they're having I would excuse people's bad behavior by saying, maybe they have something else going. But then I also realized, even when I have something going on,
you don't act like that.
Don't do to people. You know, I'm not a mad woman, and I can't be the only sane person on the planet. So I realized people know exactly what they're doing, as they're doing it. So, guys, that was rough. That was interesting and rough.